Hello and welcome to week 4, day 3 of our awesome journey together. Okay, so today is our last day, and I've been super happy of being your teacher. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, any questions, you can go ahead and contact us. Okay, so we're going to start with our lesson plan right here. I put it all together like always, right? So we're going to start with our reading language arts. And the first one is match the first sound on page 46, okay? The instructions are there. So what I did is I went ahead and grabbed some pictures and I went ahead and put them up here for y'all so you can go ahead and listen to them. Okay, so we're going row by row, right? So we're going sideways. And what we're doing in this activity is we're looking for the ones that does not belong. Okay, so how do we know if they don't belong? We're going to be listening to the initial sound. Remember, initial sound is the first sound that you hear in the word. Okay, so the first group of words is cup, bus, bone, and bell. Which one of these does not belong with the others? Cup, bus, bone, bell. Good. You should have said cup because cup's initial sound is k and all the others have the b sound. Okay, so this is the one that does not belong. On the next group, okay, we have flag, fire, pot, and fan. Which one of these does not belong because of its initial sound? You should have said pot because pot begins with a p, and all of these three begin with a f, right? The last group, ring, bat, rice, and rake. Which one of these does not belong with the rest because of this is its initial sound? You should have said bat. Bat begins with a b and all the rest begin with a r, right? Good job. Okay, so the next activity we've done before, it's message on a board. And hopefully you all were able to find a place in your home to have a message board. Okay, so what we do here, we just write random letters, random notes, maybe what we're going to be doing today, or, just a basic word. If you want to put sight words there, it's up to you all. Okay, so in my message board for today, I went ahead and wrote, and you can't see it, I went ahead and wrote, it has been my pleasure being your teacher this summer. Although it's been very different, right? I'm still your teacher somehow, right? And I put Miss Torres, right, at the bottom, okay? It has been my pleasure being your teacher this summer. So this would be something that I would normally write on my message board in my classroom when it's going to be the end of the year, of course. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to our math. We are in lesson Oh, I'm sorry. I went ahead and skipped the story. Today's story is on page 102, and it is called A Walk Through the Seasons. And in this story, it's about a little girl walking with her parents, and they're walking their dog. So she mentions that she needs to walk her dog every day, no matter what season it is, whether it's summer, which is what the season we're in now, spring, fall, or winter, right? So it doesn't matter what season it is, how cold it is, how hot it is. She has to walk her dog, right? Because dogs need to exercise and to be outside as well. So what we want you to do is to choose one of those pictures in the story, and I want you to tell us about this season. What season do you think it is? What's happening? What are the clothes that they're wearing? What does the sky look like? And so on. Okay, so of course you can read the story so that you can understand the seasons a little bit better, but we're asking you to just choose one picture and describe the season, and of course draw the picture, right? So that's going to be for your reading. We're going to go ahead and move on to math, which is back here. For math, we are working on lesson 18, right? And it is going to be on your page 224. Okay, so at the very beginning, we're going to do matching. And remember, yesterday I mentioned that if we do the picture first, it'll be a little bit easier to find this side, right? Instead of going back and forth. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So here we're looking for, remember that they're grouped in fives, but we know that this is 10. But we can count by fives or count by ones. It's up to you, whatever's easier. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and count by fives just to make it easy. 5, 10, 15, and what comes after 15? 16, 17. So we're looking for one of these that has the 17 first, right? Because that is how much total there is. And then you're going to subtract, right? So we're looking for 17, which is right here. Now let's go ahead and check the rest of our picture. Minus 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry, minus 8. And it equals 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yes, that is correct. So I'm going to draw a line from there to my number sentence. Okay, next one. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're looking for the number 14 here. It's right here. Let's check the rest of the sentence. And it's minus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. And it equals to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, it's correct. So I'm going to match it right there, right? Next one, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're looking for the number 13. Let's check the rest of the number sentence. Minus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Does it equal to 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So we're going to go ahead and match it right here. The next one, 5, 10, 15, and 1 is 16. Right? So we're looking for number 16 right there. And then we're going to subtract 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? And does it equal 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, it does. So we're going to match it right there. And the last one, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. We have the number 18 right here. Let's check the rest. Minus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. And then does it equal 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, it does. So we're going to go ahead and match it right here. So all we're doing is matching the picture with the number sentence that makes it correct, right? Good job. So then here for number 2, we're going to go ahead and draw. It says make a math drawing in groups of 5, a row of 5, just the way they did it up here. And then you solve the problem. But then they want an addition sentence to make it true. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to start with 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Notice how I grouped them by 5, just the way they asked me. And now I'm going to subtract how many? 8, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? And my answer, how many are left over? 1, 2, and 3. So that's my answer, right? But now they want us to do a addition sentence using the same numbers to make it true. Now, I'm not going to add this one with the 3 because it will not give me 8. So we're rearranging. So what we're going to do is we're going to try 8 plus 3. Let's see if it gives us 11, right? So it's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then plus 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Did it give me 11? Yes. So my number sentence would be 8, which are these, plus, which are these, equals 11, which are the same numbers. 8 plus 3 equals 11. So it's a part of the fact family, right? So they're just introducing this so you can get ready for what's coming next, okay? So there's also a number 3 and 4 on your page 224. There's no space here, so if you can do that one and page 225, it's very similar to it. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and move into our science. Okay, so we did math. We're going to go ahead and move to science. And today we're going to be focusing on migration. Okay, so what is migration? And for parents, if you want to read the background information on page 318 is what I'm basically going to go over. But so you can look up for Brain Pop Junior. It has a good video that kind of goes over everything and sums it up. Okay, so migration. What do we know about migration? When I think of migration, I think about birds, right? Why? Because growing up, my family would always say, "Oh, I see the birds. There's cold coming." Right? So because birds migrate to other places to stay warm, so what we think of is like they're coming down here to our valley, right? To Harlingen or other cities around us because they're coming from where it's cold, right? So they have to migrate in order to survive because if they stay where they are, then it might get too cold and they might not be able to survive. Okay? So migration is when an animal or a person moves from one place to another for different reasons. So one is to keep warm and to survive, and other times it's because they're following their food, right? In other places it gets very cold and the animals that they eat, they either start digging and going into deeper places and they can't be found, so the animals have to move to a place where they can find food. Okay, so they look for food, water, and a home. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about different animals that migrate and why do they migrate. Okay, so the first one is a hummingbird. We've all seen these birds. They're cute. They have a long beak. I've heard they're attracted to the color red, and that's why a lot of people put like a hummingbird feeder and it's full of like a red liquid that they purchase because they want to get to see the hummingbirds. Now, hummingbirds move or they spend their winter in Central America or Mexico. So when it's cold, when it's winter, they're down there because it's hot, right? But then they migrate north to the US, which is where we live, right? We live in the south, but it's north to them. And why? Because they come to have their babies over here, and that's where we start seeing them. Okay, so they migrate to have their babies. Okay, because where they're at, the temperature changes, so they come to us. Okay, so and they do this in February. So that is why hummingbirds migrate, right? Then we have gray whales. Now, gray whales, you might think in the water, really? They migrate? Yes, they do. So the gray whales migrate to the Arctic in the spring to eat all the food that they can and get fat from it. Okay, so then when they're done, because at this time the waters have a lot of food for them, so that's why they come this way. So they're coming in search of food. Unlike hummingbirds, we're coming to have their babies over here. Whales are migrating to find food and then they go back to have their babies, right? So they're moving back and forth because of food and having their babies. And then we have the bats. Now, bats do not move far from where they're at. And they also move to warmer areas in order to search for food because in the cold areas the food has become very limited, very little, so they move to a different place to find food, but they don't travel very far. Okay, so those were just three examples of three different types of animals that migrate. Now, people also migrate because they're looking for jobs, right? So sometimes they're here during a certain season, and then when their work is at their peak at the top, they go to where the work is and work over there, and they're always moving back and forth just because of their jobs. Okay, so people can also migrate, and they might also migrate because of the weather, right? So some people live where it's super cold and it snows. So when it starts snowing over there, they come down to the south and they stay here for a while until it gets a little bit better back where they're at. Okay, so that is migration. It's just a very, very basic intro to migration. But the Brain Pop Junior video would give you more explanations and perhaps more examples. Okay, so what we want you to do for this part of science is that you have a page on your binder, and it's page 319. We want you to choose 3 of these animals, and we want you to go ahead and glue them in your journal or your composition book, and we want you to draw their surroundings and tell us why are they migrating. Now, I already gave you 3 examples, but maybe you can look for why does a butterfly migrate, right? We talked about the hummingbird, we talked about the bat, and we talked about the gray whale. But maybe you can look for why do fish migrate? Why does this yak or this ox migrate, right? And why does the butterfly? If you want to do those, or you could just choose the 3 that I spoke about and just give us an example or why are they migrating. Okay, and you could just go ahead and put in your composition book and you will be done for that part. So again, thank you so much for everything, for just stopping by and watching the videos, and hopefully we'll get to know each other in a different time, right? Maybe next year. But thank you so much. I just want to wish you the very best and stay safe. Bye.